welcome back to my channel. This video is my review for the second episode of the final season of The 100, otherwise titled The Garden. And yes, we spent this whole episode in the garden with the two snakes, as the Elsa called them, back in season 5. I think this might have been the first episode, or the first one in a while, that Eliza hasn't been in at all, but it was still a great episode and kept the momentum of last episode. However, I did have some problems with some of the characters' actions and a few other things. So the plot of the episode was that Hope, Octavia, and Gabriel traveled into the anomaly and Echo wants to find a way out. We were also shown flashbacks to Hope's childhood and Octavia's attempts to escape the anomaly. First of all, I got what I asked for last episode with flashbacks to Hope, Octavia, and Diosa's time in the anomaly. We started off the episode with a flashback to when Octavia first arrived and fell in a lake, where I kind of expected her to be attacked again like in the first episode. It turned out that she arrived 3 months after Diosa, so by the time Octavia got there, she was already giving birth. I love this scene and all the callbacks to Octavia's birth, with Octavia now taking Bellamy's place. However, I was confused by the baby coming out with no blood, and for a second I thought Diosa had died and Octavia was going to raise Hope by herself. Then we got confirmation that the time in the anomaly does work differently, since Octavia thought that she was right behind Diosa, but she actually took 3 months to get there. So although Jason said he wouldn't be doing time travel, I feel like in a way he kind of is. Anyway, as the show always references, the anomaly turned out to be like a Garden of Eden for Octavia and Diosa, this peaceful place where they could finally be happy after all they've gone through. However, just like with the happy group at the big house last episode, this wasn't going to last, and Octavia did not want to stay there because she still wants to go back to Bellamy. But back to the present, well, kind of. We see Gabriel, Hope, and Echo arriving to the garden after they entered the anomaly last episode. With this, we also got confirmation that they lose their memories when they leave the anomaly because Hope has all her memories back now. This episode was really good for Hope as we learned more about her, and unlike last episode, I was able to connect with her, and now I actually like her character. We also got to explore more of her past, from seeing her as a baby to a little girl playing with Octavia, to the strong woman she is now, and she's trying to save her mother. Like she said to Echo, her mother, her responsibility, which upset Echo because she felt that she was trading Octavia for Diosa, but we found out that she didn't actually stab Octavia, she put a tracker in her. We saw how Octavia kept trying to leave them during their time in the anomaly, so that she could go back to Bellamy, but the one time she almost had a chance to leave Diosa ruined that for her by destroying the helmet. So eventually Octavia stayed with them, but then she ended up writing a letter to Bellamy to let him know that she had changed, and she tried to send it to him through the anomaly. This is random, but that reminded me of SpongeBob when they were sending their letters to Santa Claus. And also, I forgot to say, I thought the anomaly suit that Octavia was wearing looked awful in this episode, but I thought they looked great in the trailer. But her other outfits this episode looked great, although they were basically seaweed. Anyway, the letter ended up causing problems for them because the anomaly people, who now we know are called the Disciples, found the letter and came looking for Octavia and Diosa, but not Hope because she wasn't directly mentioned in the letter. Octavia used the word Hope, but she wasn't referring to the girl. I did find it a bit annoying how they kept on talking about Hope throughout the episode, like the word. But anyway, this led to one of my favorite scenes where Hope is now the girl under the floors, as Octavia tells her to hide there, and she and Diosa are taken away, which is the last thing we see of the flashbacks. So back to the present, like I said before, Echo wanted to find a way out of the anomaly and to go find Bellamy, so she wasn't listening to Hope, who told her that Octavia spent years looking for a way out, and that time worked differently there. Now, my biggest problem with the episode, and maybe my only one, was Echo. I really couldn't stand her. Just last episode, I said that I was excited to see where her character was going, but now I feel like she went back to being the same character that I hated in seasons 4 and 5. I was glad when Hope called her out on killing Octavia because I was confused why at first she was saying that Octavia thought she was smart. Also, that moment between Echo and Hope later on felt like they were trying to show Echo opening up to her, but I didn't feel any emotion from them. Gabriel discovered the dead body of one of the Allegiance Free members, and he was able to take his mind drift to see his memories. But speaking of dead bodies, there were other dead prisoners around there, because it turns out that the anomaly is some sort of prison, which seems like a horrible punishment because you're forced to stay there and grow old for years, but when you return, for everyone else, it's like you were never gone. And we also learned that the anomaly is actually the planet that the Primes were trying to go to at the end of last season. Anyway, there was a prisoner in there who seemed to know Hope as a little girl. But back to Gabriel, first of all, he made sure that Josie was gone forever, although I don't think she really is. But then we found out that Becca was his crush, and what I'm wondering about this is whether they brought Becca back into the story to set up the spinoff, and if it does happen, could Gabriel be a part of it? At the end, Gabriel finally found out what they needed, but for some reason he went out and told the other two that he needed a pen for it, but he left the iPad in the room and the prisoner broke it. I really found it stupid for him to leave it in there, but then they focused on Gabriel's neck, so now I'm worried they're going to put the mind drive in him because then he'll die, and I finally started enjoying his character. Overall, I thought this episode was not as exciting for me as last episode, but I love how much we learned about Hope's past and Octavia's time in the anomaly. It really made me interested in the storyline, which I wasn't last episode. But as I said before, my one negative was Echo. I would give this episode an 8 out of 10, and I'm excited for next episodes to go back to Shehira's storyline, but at the same time, I wouldn't have a problem with continuing this one. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Leave your thoughts on the episode in the comments, and have a good day. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.